All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to crack open the engine room of modern music and take a look at one of its most important blueprints, the 12-bar blues. You know, if you've ever wanted to just sit down at a piano and play something that feels real, something powerful, something with a ton of soul, then you are in exactly the right place. Let's get to it. And look, that is no exaggeration. The blues isn't just another style of music you can play. It's more like a language. It's the musical DNA you'll find hiding inside rock and roll, jazz, pop, R&B, pretty much everything. So learning this structure isn't just about memorizing a few songs. It's about finally understanding how so much of the music we already love is actually built from the ground up.
So here's our game plan for today. We're going to start with the absolute foundation, the blueprint of the house. Then we'll build the groove, that's the rhythmic engine. We'll add the harmony for color. After that, it's all about you finding your own voice with a solo before we, put all the pieces together at the end.
Okay, first things first, let's look at the core structure. I want you to think of this as the master map for just countless songs. It's a simple repeating pattern of 12 measures or bars, and it only uses 3 chords. It's so elegant in its simplicity, but trust me, in practice, it is incredibly powerful.
This right here, this is the story that the blues tells every single time. It's a 12-bar loop that plays out a little mini drama. You start at home, you're comfortable, on the I chord. Then you move away to the 4 chord, which builds a little tension. You pop back home for a second, but then, bam, the 5 chord hits. That's the real drama, the climax that makes you want to go home before it finally resolves back to the I. This little journey of tension and release, that is the heart and soul of the blues.
So what are these I, V, and V chords anyway? Well, if we're playing in the key of C, our home base, the I chord, is a C major. The IV chord, the one that creates that first little itch of tension, is F major. And the V chord, the one that gives us that big feeling of needing to get back home, that's G major. It's a simple story. Home, away, and back again. That's the whole harmonic trip right there.
Okay, we've got our map. Now let's get our hands dirty and start building this thing. We're going to focus just on the left hand for a minute. Its job, and it's a super important one, is to be the rhythmic engine of the whole song. It provides the pulse, the bass, and that classic bouncy feel that makes you want to move. And here's the magic trick. You only need to learn one simple pattern for your left hand. That's it. You master this pattern for 1 chord, and then you just move that same shape up and down the keyboard for the other chords. This is the secret to getting that authentic, rolling blues sound without tying your fingers in knots. The pattern is just 1, 5, 1, 6. Super simple. Let's break it down for a C chord. You play the root note, C, then you rock up to the 5th, which is G, back down to the root, C, and then up to the 6th, A. So it's C, G, C, A. You just repeat that. And when the music tells you it's time to play the F chord, you play the exact same pattern. You just start on F. It's a simple, movable engine.
All right, our left hand engine is chugging along nicely. Let's bring in the right hand. The right hand's job is to add the harmony, the chords that give the music all its color and that signature kind of spicy, bluesy texture. Now, the secret ingredient for that instant bluesy sound is something called the dominant 7th chord. The recipe is simple. You just take a normal major chord and you add 1 extra note, a flattened 7th. This single note creates this delicious, unresolved tension, this color that just screams blues. Just look at the difference here. A normal C major chord is just C, E, and G. It's fine, but kind of plain. But to make it a bluesy C dominant 7th or a C7, we just add that B flat. That one note, that little bit of spice, transforms the whole thing from plain vanilla to pure blues. And you're going to do this for all 3 of our chords, making them C7, F7, and G7. So how do we actually play these chords? Well, we use this iconic rhythm called the Charleston. The feel is everything here. It's a long note right on the beat, followed by a short, punchy note right after it. It's like 1 and 2, 3 and 4. It creates this awesome syncopated, swinging feel that just locks in perfectly with that left-hand groove.
Okay, let's take stock. We've got our foundation, we've got our groove, we've got our harmony. The whole band is playing. Now it's time for the really expressive part, the fun part, the melody or the solo. This is where you really get to find your own voice.
Ah, yes. This is the question that stops so many people dead in their tracks. Improvising can seem like some kind of dark magic, right? Like you have to just invent genius ideas out of thin air. But just like with the chords, there's a simple toolkit that unlocks the whole thing. So how do you get that soulful, kind of bittersweet, melancholic sound in a solo? It all comes down to one more special ingredient: the blue note. This is a note that technically doesn't belong in the scale, but we sneak it in there to give our melody that distinctive, emotionally complicated flavor that is the blues. So here's how we build our soloing toolkit. We start with a really strong, simple 5-note scale called the pentatonic. For C major, that's C, D, E, G, and A. Solid, but maybe a little polite. Now watch this. To make it a blues scale, we just add our blue note, that E flat, right into the mix. And just like that, you have the C major blues scale. These 6 notes are all you need to create an absolutely incredible, authentic-sounding blues solo.
And here is probably the best piece of advice I can give you for soloing. It is not about playing a million notes a minute. The best solos, the ones that stick with you, are lyrical. They're memorable. So a great rule of thumb is this: try to play a little phrase that you could actually sing. If it's singable, it's going to be musical, and it's going to connect with anybody who's listening. Okay, we have covered a ton of ground. We laid the foundation, we built the groove, we added the harmony, and we found our voice. So let's do a quick recap and assemble all of these awesome building blocks into your very first complete blues performance. And there it is, your complete blues toolkit. You have the blueprint, that 12-bar form, to guide you. You've got the groove for your left hand, and you have the harmony and the rhythm for your right hand. And maybe most importantly, you have your voice, the blues scale, so you can tell your own story. You literally have everything you need right now. So here's the real takeaway. Learning the blues isn't just a technical exercise. It's about learning a language. It's a conversation. We've just given you the vocabulary, the chords, the rhythms, the scales, the whole shebang. So the only question left is, what will you say? Thanks for joining me on The Explain.